Welcome to the Puma Bass channel. Today, we'll react to the group Mamamoo, performing their own piece called I Miss You. This song talks about someone missing a loved one. The person is grieving the loss of someone dear who left their life. It's a heartfelt lament. This particular performance in this video has another version that circulated online some time ago, where you could hear the raw, untreated audio version. I chose the treated version because both are beautiful, but this one has a slightly better sound quality that allows us to appreciate their techniques better. Listening closely, even the raw version shows them singing as skillfully as possible. They are on pitch, using great techniques. The only noticeable differences are slight imperfections completely normal in live performances, and the lower audio quality of the untreated version. I only noticed minor inaccuracies and lower volume on the low notes. People might find this surprising. Wow, the treated version sounds so full and polished, but you can clearly hear all the enhancements that make the voice more dynamic and audible across techniques. But there was no auto-tune applied. The alignment of notes was slightly adjusted, but only to balance it out. In reality, it was more about blending and equalizing with the playback track. Nothing was significantly altered, though. I loved both versions equally, the pure one and this treated one. So I chose the treated version to better appreciate their techniques. Let's see how they convey the feeling of missing someone through this song. It's called I Miss You and is performed in a raw, live-like setting. It's a purer performance, closer to a live show.
준비됐나? 그리워하나? 올 것이 왔다. 자, 화이팅. 나를 어루만지던 그 손끝 So much I miss you 내가 보고 싶다고 들을 수도
So, she has a voice that is placed more in the nasal area. It's a more metallic, brighter voice. And usually, when she goes for the high notes, she directs it more towards the palate. It would be a slightly more restrained voice in this region, but not nasal. She also directs it to the palate, further back. So she's in a low register. And in the original version of this video, you can tell there's little volume in this low register. Now she uses the whisper voice, which adds a lot of breathiness, and this brings a feeling that matches the idea of the song, which is about affection, speaking softly, lamenting a more sorrowful complaint. So it fits very well. But it's quite low, so she ends up using this technique to compensate for being in a low register, but also as an interpretative choice. She has a voice that I really like, where she uses the nasopharyngeal area. So she directs her voice to this middle region, from the eyes to the mouth, mainly from here to above the mouth. It's not very vocal, it's slightly more nasal, but she opens it towards the cheeks. So it's almost like a duck voice. It's a setup where there's an internal configuration, where she's positioning and slightly tightening the palate. It would sound like a duck voice, so to speak, with resonance in the nose and cheeks, giving this sound a very sweet and velvety sound. Very pleasant, and it also fits the idea of this romantic lamentation. She also used the whisper voice along with this register, Very breathy.
이젠 없는데 별이 뜨는 밤이면 언제나 so much 소리 없이 눈물이 흐르면 no 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 너의 목소리도
Beautiful.
So I miss you 어제도 오늘도 oh no no
So here, she already has a voice with a different characteristic. It's a voice that is much more projected, more open. While one voice was more between the nose and mouth, and the other was more nasal, her voice is fuller, using the entire mask and head. It's a voice that, if you were in front of her, listening, without a microphone, it would sound very powerful here. She's opening her mouth wide. So she's doing a mixed voice. All the resonance is forehead, head vertically, forehead, nose, and the mouth are in use. She captures all the resonances and opens the belting as well. She creates an internal opening, bringing a touch of brightness to this projection. And all of this with extreme delicacy. She transitions between registers with remarkable smoothness, yet uniform. That painting she created in the big melisma of this melody, a very beautiful melody, is truly a romantic, active moment. She approached it in a slightly different way, especially since the melody was already in a higher range, and where it leads represents the climax of pain, the lament of the lyricist. It blends beautifully. She matched this fuller projection of her voice, yet maintained a delicate touch. The original also conveys this high-quality execution of that register. It's truly remarkable. That register stands out.
요즘 너 대신 안고 자는 티슈 폰제 생목 녹에 슬픈 노래만이 가득 찬 이유 이 노래처럼 내 마음
Here comes a rap section. In this vocal playback, the backing vocals take the lead. As this range is quite low for the girls, making the backing vocals more prominent.
연락에 구는 건지 오늘따라 유난스러워 너의 속삭임 너의 손길은 이젠 없는데
She uses breathiness with whisper voice technique. It's placed very forward, creating an intense whisper voice here. She doesn't switch to falsetto, but rather uses head voice, resonating more in the forehead area. Here, she added significant breathiness. Notice the unique characteristics. Different vocal registers. What she just did was beautiful. She executed a full note above, then shifted to chest voice. 4 lower notes, finishing with a stunning falsetto. The camera changed at that moment, but it should have stayed on her. Now, this is head voice. That was head voice. She sang part of it in that range, then returned to chest voice. As the melody transitioned 2 lower notes, she ascended back into falsetto, adding a vibrato at the end. The transition was seamless and absolutely flawless. She repeated the same melody, but within the register, she usually sings in. She has a slight technical limitation there, often staying in the nasopharyngeal space. She leans more towards the palate. Here, she transitions to falsetto. I'll come back to this later, but she also did the falsetto. She opens up a bit of belting. Or rather, she tries to do belting. It gives a different characteristic compared to the lead singer's voice. Right in the glottis, right back here. The same melody. The voices are interacting.
Okay.
Perfect. It's a very beautiful and sweet melody. They delivered it excellently in the original. You can look up this performance. At least for me, it showed up as the first result. In its original version, without any editing. To me, it's exactly what they delivered. It's very well done, nearly perfect. Here, they cleaned up and amplified the lower tones to give it more volume and brightness, but they are very talented singers. There are more songs, but also more tracks within this video. Here, I focused on this melody, where they applied significant technique. It's a richer melody, and they added interpretation. I particularly like this singer. The second from the left. She's exceptional, truly outstanding, top-level talent. The one beside her, the third. I didn't hear much of her. She wasn't highlighted as much here, but her timbre and technique also caught my interest. So this group, I'll be looking to listen to more often. Mamamoo. I'll search for some live performances to react to again. So if you like this video, leave your like and comment below. I'd love suggestions for what you'd like me to react to and explain some technique. Consider buying me a coffee with any amount to contribute what you can via the pinned comment. You can use your credit card or PayPal. And subscribe to the channel too. Watch more content like this. Alright, see you next time.